Hey, what's up guys? It's Toxic here. And as you guys can see in the title, Roblox is officially shutting down in 1 week. As you guys can see on the screen right now, we're taking a look at Roblox's blog post regarding this whole situation. And it's titled, Roblox is shutting down on April 8th, 2022. And there's also a Forbes article regarding this that we're going to take a look at after this. But I wanted to just sit down and read the blog post and share my thoughts about it with you guys. But it says right here, it pains us to have to announce this, but Roblox will officially be ceasing operations and fully shutting down on April 8th, 2022. We understand that many of you may be wondering why we have come to this decision, so we will mention some of the most pressing issues that helped us decide that this was the best course of action. And I can say right now, I definitely am wondering why Roblox would decide to shut down. Like, it seems like just like a month or two ago, Roblox was at the top of the world. It was doing so well. And to hear them shutting down 1 week from now, it's crazy. But let's keep reading this. It says, the first issue that led us to this decision was the declining player base. So I guess even though Roblox seemed like it was at the top of the world, I guess it wasn't really doing the best if the player base was declining. But it says, as many of you know, Roblox is a company, meaning that numbers are extremely important for our survival. If our player base starts to decline, so does our profit margin. In fact, our player base has been so low recently that we have been losing upwards of $5 million each day for the past month and a half. And I just want to stop right here and say $5 million a day for a month and a half, right? If I were to take out a calculator and just run the numbers here, let's assume that every month has 30 days, so this would be 45 days times $5 million. That means that in the past month and a half, Roblox has lost $225 million. And that's a low estimate because they say upwards of $5 million each day for the past month and a half. So it could be anywhere from $225 million to maybe even $300 million lost in the past month and a half, which is really crazy when you think about it. But moving on, Roblox then says another pressing issue on our platform is the drama that goes on in our community, especially between Roblox YouTubers both inside and outside of our star program. And honestly, these are just shots fired at like the entire Roblox community when you sit down and think about it. Like they're basically saying that one of the reasons why they decided that the best courses of action would be to completely shut down the website because of all the drama that started as a result of the website's existence. And they go on to say, for the past few years, we've been trying to stop all of the drama that goes on in our community to no avail, which tells us that the community has become extremely toxic overall. This is also bad for business, as toxic users tend to drive away many new players who are looking for a fun and wholesome experience. We will not be naming any individuals. Yeah, this part makes sense. Imagine in Roblox's like final message ever, and they're talking about how they're completely shutting down the website, they name somebody as one of the reasons. Like that would actually be hilarious, but at the same time, I would feel really bad for whoever that person is, because they're about to get so much hate, they would probably just have to completely get off the internet. Like, there would be millions of people sending them hate. Even though this sentence right here, it says, we will not be naming any individuals, nor do we condone any kind of harassment towards the users whom you may perceive to be the problematic individuals. So, if they were to name somebody, even if they said do not harass them, you know how the internet is. They're still gonna get harassed anyway. And even though they're not naming any individuals in this post right here, and even though they say they don't condone any kind of harassment towards the people who you think might be the problem, I'm more than sure as a result of this whole blog post, so many of these drama Roblox YouTubers are about to get so much hate. Like, I could already see the comments now. There's gonna be like a million comments saying, oh my god, you killed Roblox. You're the reason why Roblox is shutting down, and all this other crazy comments. Even though, again, they're not even named here, and Roblox doesn't even want anyone to do that to begin with. And that kind of goes to show that they do have a point. The community is pretty toxic when you can already anticipate the hatred coming towards other users, even though they haven't been named in this Roblox blog post. Like, I can kind of see where they're coming from by saying the community is toxic, when you already envision that as like a normal outcome of this. But yeah, I mean, they also have a point here that toxic users do drive away a lot of new players who want a fun and wholesome experience. And I also like the part right here where they mentioned that it involves Roblox YouTubers both inside and outside of the star program. Because one, it's a pretty good way to kind of obscure whoever they are referring to in this whole blog post. Because when you think about it, usually you would think the people in the star program are immune and, like, oh, they would get in trouble with Roblox if they did something Roblox didn't like. But the fact that they're mentioning that it involves people both inside and outside, it makes it a little bit harder for people to predict because, for example, someone might be causing drama behind the scenes or all this other stuff. So there's a lot of different situations where, the person you might be thinking of that may be causing all of this probably isn't even involved. So I really like that they mentioned this to keep it more vague. But moving on, they mention one third and final reason here. It says the third and final reason we will be mentioning in today's blog post is the constant pressure from the media, as well as copyright issues on the platform. And the copyright issues part, we've actually discussed recently on the channel, and the constant pressure from the media makes sense as well, because Roblox is constantly getting bombarded with like negative media posts about them. So I kind of understand both of these, but let's just keep reading. We decided to group these two topics together since they're both issues that harm not only the company, but the community as a whole. As a result of a recent lawsuit, we had to remove the ability to freely use audio from our catalog. And I just want to stop right now to say that I actually called this. When I talked about Roblox basically removing audios and how I think it was a pretty bad idea, I figured that the reason why they were doing this is because of probably some type of copyright issue, and they were just forced to do that. And it turns out that that's actually the case right here. They said right here, they had to do this as a result of a recent lawsuit. But they go on to say, the lawsuit stemmed from numerous users deceiving our moderation team into accepting copyrighted music onto the audio section of our catalog. Again, that makes sense because when you really sit down and think about it, like, there's people who literally, their whole purpose, like, they dedicate whole accounts to trying to bypass the whole, audio moderation team in order to get copyrighted music onto the platform and all this other stuff. Sometimes they pitch it up or pitch it down or speed it up or slow it down and all that other stuff in order to get it passed. And obviously, no matter what you do like that, that's still going to be copyrighted audio and you are not allowed to be distributing it like that. So again, this makes sense and I could see why this was a big issue for Roblox. But then they go on to say the constant negative media coverage regarding Roblox also took a toll on the platform, as these articles have directly led to a decrease in registration rates. And this kind of goes back to the first thing that they mentioned right here, where they say the first issue that led them to this decision was the declining player base. Now I know that the declining player base and a decrease in registration rates aren't the same thing. And just to give you an example of why this is the case, imagine if no new users signed up to Roblox as of right now, but there's the same community that's been around the whole time and more people who used to play come back. The player base would be increasing, but the registration rates would be decreasing, pretty much to zero. So in a way, these aren't really tied together, but I think there might be a little bit of a correlation between the two because, people who are already playing, their parents might be like, oh, I saw this article, I don't want my kid on this website anymore. So I guess they are somewhat related, but they're definitely not the same thing. But anyway, the blog post goes on to say, they also pressured us into overly moderating our community, to the point where innocent users have been getting banned or even completely terminated for messages that were clearly in line with our community guidelines and terms of service. So this kind of explains why people were getting banned for like just random messages and sometimes even terminated just for random messages that were clearly completely compliant with the rules. I figured that it probably was something to do with this, but yeah, I still feel like this is on Roblox, regardless of the pressure of the media. You should just moderate the website according to the rules. I don't think you should be banning people because you think you might get negative press if you don't. Because if they're following the rules and what they said is completely fine, I think they shouldn't even deserve to have to go through all the stress of, getting banned and then appealing just to get unbanned and say, sorry, we didn't mean to ban you and all this. But I guess we got a little bit of closure now that Roblox is shutting down. But then they go on to say, as we stated earlier, Roblox will officially be ceasing operations on April 8th, 2022. We will keep you posted if anything changes. We will also be releasing additional information regarding our closure and compensation for real-world purchases once our legal team reviews those messages. And honestly, this part is really big when you sit down and think about it. Roblox is actually going to be compensating people who purchased items prior to Roblox shutting down. Now, I don't know how far this is going to date back. I don't know if this is going to be like equivalent to the Robux value of the items you own or just the Robux you own or anything else. And of course, I don't know the deadline, like I said before. Like, obviously, they're not going to refund someone who purchased something in 2010. But if they purchased something in 2021 and they haven't used the Robux yet, I could see that being, refunded. I don't know. I'm really interested in what they have to say about this. And hopefully their legal team, reviews those messages and gives them the go-ahead soon enough. They end the post here by saying, thank you all for the many great memories, and we hope to see you in our future endeavors. Now, this is an interesting way to close this whole blog post about them shutting down, especially when they say future endeavors. Because does this mean that we're getting a Roblox 2 in the future? Is that what this potentially means? Like, you know, the player base is shutting down, so they're going to shut down the whole Roblox website and make Roblox 2. Obviously, that's a little bit of a reach. I doubt they're going to be making Roblox 2. But I'm very curious as to what Roblox would potentially do in the future. You know, the company, not Roblox, you know, as the platform, because that's going away. But I'm curious what they're going to be doing in the future. And honestly, I'm more than happy to try out whatever they have to show us in the future. And also, this part right here about the many great memories, that had a spot in my heart when I was reading it, because over the, like, I've been playing Roblox for over a decade, if you guys don't know. So Roblox shutting down really hits close to home for me. Like, I remember even when I was a little kid, all I would do is I would come home from school in like 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, so on. I would come home, you know, and the first thing I would want to do, I would want to get on my computer and play some Roblox and just play, you know, all my favorite games on Roblox and just have a good time. And, you know, even as a YouTuber, when I started making Roblox videos, you know, I've had so many great memories on the Roblox platform while making my videos. I mean, I have like, what, 1,000 something videos? I'm more than sure you could find maybe, I don't even know, I want to say like at least 600 of my videos are like positive, me playing the game, having a great time. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably a lot closer to 1,000, because even though I do make quite a few videos, you know, being somewhat negative on Roblox's changes, I do generally have a lot of great things to say about Roblox. And it really hurts my heart to hear that Roblox is completely shutting down. But at least they gave us 1 week, you know, ahead of time. Like, they could have just said, oh, we're shutting down tomorrow on April 2nd. But they gave us a week, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are probably going to spend their time just playing their favorite games, you know, just having the best time they can before Roblox is completely gone. And I also want to take a look at a Forbes article that was written about this blog post titled, "Roblox is officially shutting down next week." And it's written by someone named John Creek, who works for the gaming network for Forbes. And honestly, this picture right here that they included in this post really, really hurts to see. Because this is one of the final things that Roblox is ever going to have, like event-wise or anything. And they just put it on full display for people to see. I don't know why, you know, article writers have to do stuff like this, but this really, like, this hit close to home. Like, emotionally, this really, really just feels bad. And underneath it, it says, the final sponsored event hosted on the Roblox platform before its closure on April 8th, 2022. So, yeah, it seems like this is the final sponsored event. I thought maybe they would have one more. Maybe John Creek hasn't talked to any of the staff members, and so far this is the final event that we know of. So I don't know if he's actually contacted the Roblox staff and, you know, they told him that this is a final event, or if he's just assuming based on the fact that Roblox is closing a week from now and this is the current event. I mean, that would be a logical conclusion, but either way, this is just really, really sad to see, and they really shouldn't have posted this here because this makes me feel really sad, honestly. But let's take a look at the article now, and it's only a few paragraphs. I like skimmed through it real quick, but it says, nearly 2 decades after the gaming platform's release, the Roblox Corporation has announced that they will be shutting the platform down next week. And I mean, once I saw this, I knew that this was like a real announcement, because I know today's April 1st. I mean, as you can see here, April 1st, 2022. But, you know, I thought maybe the blog post, you know, April Fools, whatever, they'll probably just tell us later this an April Fools thing. Because this was also posted today by Roblox. But seeing this Forbes article, I genuinely doubt that, you know, a news company is going to work with the Roblox to basically just pretend that they're shutting down. Like, one, that would probably be bad business. And two, I mean, as a news company, your integrity matters. Like, sure, an April Fool's joke would be kind of funny, and I mean, everybody expects an April Fool's joke. But, you know, integrity is on the line when you do something like this. And the fact that both Roblox and Forbes have wrote about this, it kind of tells me that this is very likely something real. Again, Roblox and Forbes could be working together here to mess with people, but I genuinely doubt it. I genuinely doubt it. But yeah, let's keep reading this here. It says, in the company's blog post regarding their closure, they discuss numerous factors that led them to their decision. These factors include decreasing profits and a toxic community. We decided to interview a prominent user on Roblox who goes by the name of Cow to hear his thoughts on the matter. And Cow's actually my friend. That's really cool to see, at least, that Cow actually made it onto a Forbes article. I'm really happy to see Cao is, just doing very, very well for himself, because landing an interview with Forbes is really, really big. Like, they could have went to Creekcraft, and honestly, it would be kind of fitting because this guy's name is John Creek. I just figured they might have some kind of bond since both of them have Creek in their name, but they actually went to interview Cao, which is really, really cool. And again, I'm really happy to see Cao doing so well being put on the Forbes article here. But the article goes on to say, he told us, it's pretty sad to see Roblox finally shut down. I can see how and why it's happening though. So many players have left the platform due to miscalculated updates and their parents' concerns about child safety. Roblox has so poorly handled community relations that it has led to their demise. Like I said, it's sad, but honestly at this point, not really surprising. And I think that's a really interesting perspective. And I mean, there is a lot of truth to what Cao is saying here. I mean, again, I am someone who has had, negative videos talking about Roblox's updates. I mean, I think my last video was me talking about why I think, this last update with the audio is one of Roblox's worst decisions in a very long time. Even though, like I said before, I kind of understand, the whole copyright thing, but I think there's ways of going around it. That's like saying YouTube completely bans user uploads that aren't like verified users or anything, because people are illegally uploading movies and music and all this other stuff to YouTube. And obviously, as you can see, YouTube has gotten it under control. So I think that Roblox went very, very extreme there for absolutely no reason. But yeah, generally speaking, I can kind of understand where Cao is coming from. And then the Forbes post goes on to say, this announcement will certainly be devastating to the millions of people who played on the website daily, as well as the communities that have built themselves around the platform. Users in Roblox's Star Creator program are also likely to be adversely affected by this change, since their careers rely on making content related to the Roblox platform. Hopefully these creators, as well as the creators outside of this elusive Star Creator program, will be able to continue their careers without the Roblox platform. And I just want to say right here that I genuinely thank John Creek for, the good wishes towards the Roblox community as a whole, as well as the creators who depend on Roblox for an income, or for their videos and all that. I think that it's really, really nice to see that, he's wishing the best for everybody who's negatively affected by this change. And I also like that he mentioned, creators outside of the STAR program, because, even though there are a lot of people who are in the STAR program that will be very, very negatively affected by this, there's a lot of creators that are outside of it that will also be very, very negatively affected by it. And, I think it's just nice to see that no matter whether you're tied to Roblox or not, you still get these like positive wishes towards you, which I think is very nice. And also right here where it says it's going to be devastating to the millions of people who played on the website daily, that is definitely a fact. I'm going to be honest, I've kind of contributed to the first issue that led to Roblox shutting down, because I haven't really been playing Roblox as much as I used to recently. I've been playing other games, I've been doing other things, I've been busy with school, which is also why I haven't been making many videos. But yeah, as a whole, even though I haven't really played much Roblox recently, obviously, with my history, how long I've been playing it, this really, really hurts. So yeah, again, I'm one of the people who's definitely devastated by this, even though I don't really play it daily. But yeah, I genuinely just want to thank John Creek for, again, the positive message here. But yeah, hopefully everybody on Roblox will be able to move on and find a new game that they enjoy. But something I also noticed is that John Creek didn't mention anything about developers in any of this. And I think that he may have just lumped developers into the whole, communities part right here that have built themselves around the platform. Because obviously developers that make massive games, their whole job is developing their Roblox game. And, they're the leaders of these communities that are built around the platform. So I guess that's kind of what he was going for. Like, maybe he was just including the developers here. But I can kind of understand why he singled out the Star creators, and therefore also just wanted to say, to all the people who are outside of it as well, he wishes them the best of luck. Because this is a little bit different than, like, the communities that built themselves around it. Because the Star creators literally, like, sign a contract. They're not really working for Roblox, but, yeah, they're kind of tied to Roblox in a way. So it is a little bit different than, building a community around the platform. But yeah, moving on to the final few sentences of this article here, it says, I'm also curious about the legality of Roblox's closure, considering they're a publicly traded company, as well as the fact that many users have purchased items on the platform for real money, and they haven't mentioned any form of compensation for these users as of the time I'm writing this article. Now, I don't know if Roblox mentioned compensation in the original post, because I only saw it now. So maybe in the original post it didn't mention anything about compensation, or maybe they did mention, the part that we saw about them talk about compensation in the future, and he's just saying as of now they haven't mentioned what they're gonna do about it. So I guess there's that. But yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, what is the legality of a public company, closing? Since Roblox is on the stock market and all, I'm very curious how that's gonna play out. I'm more than sure there's a legal way to close a company. Like for example, if it goes bankrupt or something. I'm more than sure there's a way. If it's a public company. So I'm not really, that curious about the legality. I'm sure it's probably gonna be fine. And then it says, all in all, today is a terrible day to be a Roblox fan. And honestly, you couldn't have concluded this any more truthfully. Today is probably the worst day for any Roblox fan. Hearing that your favorite website, your favorite gaming platform is completely shutting down forever as of next week. I'm sure if you were to tell this to literally anybody, they would just be completely devastated, and they would be just super upset to hear that. Anybody who plays Roblox, I mean. And now I'm thinking, what am I even gonna do on YouTube anymore? What can I do? My entire channel, I have over 1,000 videos of me playing Roblox, talking about Roblox, all this other stuff. This is literally the only thing I really do. What am I gonna do as of next week when Roblox is no longer around? Like, I'm so shaken up by this. Like, I'm actually baffled. What can I do? Do I switch to a different game? Like for example, I've been into other games recently that I could start making videos on or something, but I don't know. Like, it would just feel wrong to just not make Roblox videos. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've genuinely been considering, the whole time I've been reading these articles, I've been thinking about quitting YouTube after Roblox shuts down next week. Like, I really just don't know what there is for me to do without Roblox, I don't know. I'm so baffled. I'm speechless. I don't know what to do here, honestly. I don't know what to do with my YouTube channel. I have over 1,000 videos on this. Like, my brain is just processing this now. I have over 1,000 videos of me playing this game, and it's no longer going to be around. All the people that came to my channel to watch me play Roblox, they have no more Roblox content because Roblox is shutting down. What am I gonna do? But luckily, I don't have to think about that dilemma, at least as of right now, because this is actually an April Fool's video. All of this is fake, okay? Roblox is not shutting down on April 8th, and John Creek isn't a real person. I'm more than sure, if anything, I think the John Creek thing might have given it away once I got to this point. And the main reason that I chose the name John Creek is because, one, I didn't want to, kind of, is it slander if I include the person's name who originally wrote, the Forbes article that I Inspect Elemented? I don't know if it is, but either way, I just figured I'd change the name, and I figured I'd do something funny. So I just picked, Creek just because he was the first Roblox YouTuber that came to mind that it sounds like it could be a name. So I put Creek at the end, and then I just put John because it's a very, very common name. And then also after I wrote John, I was like, oh, John Roblox is another Roblox YouTuber. So in a way, this is like a combination of two Roblox YouTuber names. And again, I think this is probably the biggest giveaway here out of all of these. But yeah, honestly, no, actually, I think the biggest giveaway was interviewing Cow Cow. By the way, I want you guys to know this is a real message from Cow Cow. Like, I told Cow Cow about my whole video here, and he actually provided this whole message for me to use here. But all in all, I want you guys to let me know in the comments. Did I get you with this April Fool's video? Because I know I'm not the best writer. I mean, I'm more than sure I could have done a lot of things better in terms of like wording to make things, like for example, for the blog post, this is not really that professional. I tried to use like big words here and there to kind of sound, like I was a Roblox blog writer. Like for example right here, the lawsuit stemmed from numerous users deceiving our moderation team into accepting copyrighted music onto the audio section of our catalog. I thought that one was a kind of, what's the word? I thought that sounded somewhat professional, like something that you might see in an actual blog post. But I'm more than sure some of these other sentences probably gave it away if you had any kind of suspicions. But yeah, again, all of this is fake. Hopefully none of you guys are like actually, devastated or anything. Hopefully, hopefully no one like, actually went on Roblox and they're like freaking out or something. Hopefully people watch the end. But yeah, aside from, all the issues that I might have had, writing this, I think I did a pretty good job. I mean, all in all, this did take me like, I want to say 45 minutes to do. I could have probably done it in less, but For example, for writing this blog post, I just came up with the ideas as they came into my head. And I wrote the Forbes article literally at the same time. I kept tabbing in and out between the two. So there's that. So there might be a little bit of an issue. Actually, yeah, I tried to play it off here at the end. I forgot to update this part about the compensation because I actually wrote this first. And then when I went to the blog post, I was like, I could mention compensation for purchases, down here, saying that they'll mention it later. But all in all, I think I did a pretty good job. And hopefully you guys, like I said, aren't too shaken up by this. Again, this is all a joke. Roblox is not shutting down on April 8th. And also really quickly, can you guys go down in the comments and just pretend like this is completely real? Pretend like, you are completely shaken up. You're so upset. You're so devastated by Roblox shutting down because, obviously you want people who come and click on this video, they see it's April 1st. When they see all the comments saying that this is really upsetting and then they watch through it, it's gonna kind of add to the whole experience of like, oh, Roblox is actually shutting down. And then at the end, when the April Fool's hits, when I'm just like, oh yeah, by the way, you don't need to worry about any of this because it's April Fool's. Like they'll actually, like feel like, the same feeling of, oh, so this was all a joke. Oh, okay. Maybe they'll laugh it off or something. So yeah, again, can you guys just please go down in the comments and just play along, pretend like Roblox is shutting down, and just pretend that you're really sad about it. And honestly, I'm running out of ideas for April Fool's jokes because if you guys don't remember, I think 3 years ago, I did, pretending to become an admin as an April Fool's video. That one actually just became really popular because I didn't take it down. And after April Fool's, it continued to get a ton of views. I think it has like 100-something thousand views. So, and I mean, I still get messages to this day on my Roblox account. Like people telling me, oh, hey, are you an admin? Can you help me out with this? Can you ban this person? Whatever. Even though I'm not an admin. And then the year after that, I did a fake UGC item that was actually a free model. So, and then this year I decided, you know what? I'm going to just pretend Roblox is completely shutting down. And I decided to write a bunch of articles about this. So, yeah, I'm really wondering, what can I do next? What even is there that I can do next, honestly? That isn't something evil, because one idea I did have in my head, and I mentioned to a few of my friends, is that I could have pretended like I was going to do a huge giveaway. Like, lots of money, lots of Robux, lots of limiteds. And then at the end say April Fool's. But I feel like that would just be too evil. Like I think that's literally like, very cruel and evil to do to, your viewers. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. But I'm genuinely having, I don't have any other ideas for April Fool's videos past this. But yeah, like I said before, and like I keep mentioning, this is an April Fool's video. Hopefully none of you guys, are too shaken up by this. And if you are, I'm sorry, but I think all in all, this was a pretty good one. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.